We're joined by mom, wife, and just all around amazing person, human being, and runner, Keira D'Amato. Keira, you've got a brand new book coming out. We're so happy that you could join us to talk about this. I want to take you through the progression sort of your life as succinctly as we can. But first, I wanted to talk about the book. I mean, so exciting that you're out and you're doing this. Talk about the journey, the self-discovery journey you found in the course of writing the book and bringing it all together.
Yeah, I think in my life, I'm a keep moving forward, next goal, next goal. So I think like sitting down and writing the book was just a beautiful reflection of what I've gone through. And, I ran in college and high school, or high school and college, and then I quit for 10 years, and then I came back running as a mom. And it was really everything that I learned on those 10 years that I wasn't running that I think set me up to become a world-class runner now. So I kind of have a unique journey, which I wanted to share with the world.
Why can we not call it a comeback?
So I don't want you to call it a comeback because that would imply that I returned to the same person that I was in my 20s. And I think what's so special about my journey is that I've learned and I've grown and I've become a new, better version of Kira. And I think having a huge perspective shift, becoming a mother, gave me all the tools to be a really dangerous elite athlete. So I didn't return to the person that I once was. I became a new, better, evolved Kira 2.0.
Not only is this such a great, relatable story, it's also inspiring. I mean, not relatable in the sense that everybody's a world-class athlete, but it's relatable and inspirational in the sense that it doesn't have to be applicable to just running. This doesn't have to be a story about somebody who, went through something and came back to something else. It could be anyone who's looking to get off their butts in their early to mid 30s, right?
Adam, you nailed my theme. Like for me, this is a book about chasing happiness and finding a way to do a little bit of something for you in a busy life. And yeah, it really like I tell people too that it's kind of like why we all love Ted Lasso. We don't watch it because it's a soccer. Yeah, it's a soccer show, but we love it for the stories and the journey and the people. And I feel like I tell my story through that. So I say in the prologue, this isn't a book about running. It's a book about a woman who's learned a lot of life lessons through running, but really you could substitute running for whatever you put on the back burner. Whether it's, I say, bog snorkeling or hiking or yoga or just anything that you want to make a little space for in your life. And it almost gives you permission to go after like a big, scary goal and show you how I went after my big, scary goal. But yeah, it doesn't have to be running.
I feel like I was thinking about this before. I feel like this has to be interesting for you in a sense that you're chasing these records and you are this world-class runner when you don't have to be. So I'm sort of thinking about somebody who might be in their early 20s and running is the only thing they have. And they've got to dedicate all of their mental energy to it with absolutely nothing to fall back on if they were, God forbid, injured. Where you've built this entire life and then came back to running and became a world-class athlete. So I just wonder how that affects you, in your mental game when you go out there and compete.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it just in that question that I'm not just a runner. In my 20s, I was just a runner. So a bad race would mean a bad day and a bad week, and it would affect my self-worth and my confidence. Now I'm a mom first and foremost. So a bad race doesn't even turn into a bad day. I come home and the kids are like, "What's for dinner?" And I go back into mom mode, which I think is a really healthy perspective. It allows me to go for it all in to risk big and not be afraid of failing because failing doesn't change my life in any way. I still come home and my kids ask me what's for dinner. So I think having a very full life is one of my secrets to being able to risk it and to go for it and really not worry too much about the outcome.
You've enjoyed such success. I'd like to ask you for advice on two different levels, and I'll break it up into two different questions. So the first of which is, what advice do you have for people who find themselves wanting to make a change, whether it's in running, whether it's getting into exercise, whether it's making any change in life, where they feel like it's too late, I'm just sort of locked in. What sort of advice would you give that person about making changes and making them stick?
Well, I think that that person that wants to make a change is already onto something, that they want to do it. And I think with any goal or anything we do in life, the want to do it is almost sometimes the trickiest part. But I would encourage them that one, I think the hardest step is starting something new or making that change. I broke the American record in the marathon. And when I finally had a moment after that race, and I started crying because I was so proud of myself. And when I thought about what I was proud of, it wasn't that I broke an American record. It wasn't that I've won national championships. It was that I found the courage to start this journey, now like 5 years prior with a 90-second run. So it was my 90-second run that I was most proud of. So I think sometimes it's intimidating when you look up and look at what you want to change. But if you look at what you can do today and just start taking those little baby steps, you're on your way to that change, which is really awesome.
No, that's perfectly said. And then additionally, what advice would you give someone who is an athlete, or a casual athlete, someone your age, someone my age, late 40s, about, if they want to take what they do to the next level? What can they do? The amateurs, the casual runners and other athletes. What can they do to get in their head about wanting to succeed further?
Yeah, I think you need to give yourself permission to try and not be afraid to fail. Like, I really think my ability to not be afraid to fail is my superhero power. So, and I think that unlocks a lot. But I think also, like, you need to pick goals that are very authentic and that excite you. And it doesn't matter if it excites anyone else. Or, I think when you're in your 40s, you think about, what you were aiming for in your 20s and comparing yourself to that version then. I think we need to erase that and figure out what excites us now. And is it in running, is it a new distance? Is it a longer distance? Is it just running with friends? Is it running in a new place? You can pick whatever excites you and to be able to go for that. But yeah, and I think asking for help, I think when you're trying to do something new or you're trying to like level up, asking for help or finding a community of like-minded people or finding a coach can really help. But I think we all are really driven people. And so sometimes it's hard to step back and just ask for help. But I found that kind of, it takes a village sometimes. So.
I love that we've been able to talk and that we've been able to meet up in person several times over the years. You and I have met a couple of times through the local DC area ACLI Capital Challenge, which is a 3-mile road racing event that we do in DC that you've been our celebrity runner for. You and I ran into each other in Chicago. You were broadcasting the marathon and we ran into each other there. That was a fantastic race a couple of years ago. With what you're willing to share, could you talk about where your journey is now and what you're doing and what you might have on the agenda?
Absolutely. I recently turned 40 and I still want to prove to the world the best is yet to come. And I think it's I don't know, an outdated notion that you have to slow down or and I really want to show the world what we're all capable of as we age. And so I have a half marathon in 2 weeks in Copenhagen. It's super competitive, really fast, and I'm feeling really fit, maybe my best ever. So I'm going to go for it and just see what happens. And then I'll do a full marathon at the end of the year. It's not in the US. I can't really announce it yet, but it's an international one. It's super fast, really flat, and very competitive. So I'm hoping to see if I can even, get close to my PR run. Yeah, my best time ever there.
So we can PR in our 40s. Is that fair?
I think so. I mean, I think we need to do it differently.
Yeah.
We need a little bit more recovery in between. Like I can't go out dancing like I did in my 20s until 2 a.m. and wake up for a 6 a.m. long run. That part of Kira is, is over and retired.
Yeah.
If I'm healthy about it and I'm building an intentional way and I'm giving my body, the rest and recovery that it needs, like I think I could still do some pretty incredible things. But I think what's really special is having that hope too. And maybe it's not your best ever, maybe it's your best this year or your best this decade, but I think we can aim to be the best version of ourselves today.
Yeah. Well, whether you're able to go out and do incredible things on a race course from here on out is one thing. There is no doubt you will do incredible things in life, as is evident to this point. So, Keira D'Amato, great to have you on. Really appreciate your time and best of luck at those races coming up.
Thanks, Adam. Bye.